قاف.
Salam alaykum everyone. I wanted to start this channel just to share some dhikr with you. You know, I like to walk a lot, and when I walk I usually watch videos on YouTube, Dawah videos. This last period especially I'm looking at Hyde Park videos. So while I go to work I wanted to share a reaction about one of the videos that I've seen. And in the video, which I will link below, you can see that there's Ali Dawah talking with this engineer about design. You know, it's all debate going back to Paley's argument mainly. And well, Ali Dawah just brings out the same argument, good argument about, you know, it shows him something. It talks about the DNA and tells him that there's information, and information can only come from an intelligence, and and the guy talks about, and complexity of course, and the engineer talks about, yeah, I know about it, I'm an engineer, algorithms and so on and so forth. But then there is, you know, inconsistency. So Ali Dawah of course says, how can you say that the DNA is not designed when there's information and purpose? And the atheist basically responds by saying that because the cell has the function of self-replication, then there is no need for a designer, because it just does whatever it does by itself, and it evolves and so on and so forth. And I mean, you really gotta scratch your head at that, because what if we made a robot, and we're already getting there, who has the capacity to self-replicate? We seed it into another planet with a code that allows it to improve over time, and then aliens come and they have to assess whether the thing is designed or not. How do you know? Well, you see, in science there are some criteria by which you understand this. Purposefulness, function, intentionality, if you can guess it, codes, information, some symbols, languages, and so on and so forth, are all elements that immediately point out to an intelligence. So you gotta be consistent. And this is why Francis Crick, the guy who found about the structure of the DNA, the moment he found it and he went to talk at the Nobel Prize ceremony, he won the Nobel Prize of course, well, he said that it is so complex, the DNA is so complex in the cell, that the only explanation that he had was that, well, it's what's called directed panspermia. So basically aliens did it. Now, in a sense, that is a possible, scientifically speaking, it is a possible explanation, and it is an explanation that is better than saying that it just came out by chance. But because we know the repercussion, people deny that. People deny that it is designed. So this is really, I mean, by the end of the video, Ali Dawah said that they gotta be patient because it's frustrating. And it is indeed. I mean, the guy is an engineer, and he uses that inferring capacity to understand that something is designed. I mean, he works with design thing every day. And a funny thing that happened in the video is that one of the things that Ali Dawah usually does is to bring out the cell phone or the iPad and ask him or her, whatever, whether the thing is designed. And the guy says, yes, of course. Well, how do you know that? Did you see the designer? And the guy usually responds, well, I can go to the factory and see how it's made. Yeah, but did you do it? I mean, guys, do you really think that you need to go to the factory to know that something is designed? These type of answers only come from someone who has a total ignorance of philosophy. No, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but you need to know the basics to just go around in the world. Now, of course, intuitively we know, but because we know also of the repercussions that may lead us to accept that the thing is designed, then we refuse. We want to refuse. There is another thing that came up in the video. The bad argument from bad design. Well, basically the guy said that, oh, you know, but the eye has a blind spot. Meaning, He wanted to say that it is a defect. One of the guys in the comments, may Allah bless him, he put actually a link where it explained that the blind spot has a specific function. But even if it didn't, you know, when atheists are cornered in this type of argument, they usually have to say that, well, the design is bad, so there's no designer. But is it really the case? How do you know that the design was supposed to be perfect? Well, we believe that God made paradise and that that's where you're gonna get your perfection. But here, no. You got sickness. You got a toil. You gotta fall sick. It's gonna form your character. But that's another discussion. But the thing is, the argument for bad design is really a bad argument. Because without even knowing it, you're actually saying it's designed. You're doing circle reasoning. You see, oh, it's bad design, therefore it's not designed. It's like looking at the camera. I mean, the guy said, for example, that the iPad that Ali Dawah had did not have such problems. Well, it does indeed. I'm sure that if you look at it, you're gonna find some defects. Nothing is perfect in this world, right? Now what? Because the thing has a defect, a minimum defect that you find, then you think that it's not designed? Of course not. That's not the case. Rather, because it has some qualities, you know for certain that it is designed. And I will end this short video with a list of these things, and there are a number of papers where you can find these attributes in a sense, but I'll share them for now like this. And they are codes, language, symbols. This is the first category. Computation is the second category, and purpose and function and intentionality as the third category. Now, if you find one of these three elements, for example, computers have computation and function. The DNA has codes. A book may have only codes, language, and symbols, without having, and perhaps, of course, purpose, but not, for example, computation. So you see, these elements help us understand that the thing is designed. And it is amazing that today we can see that the way we are made, ourselves, have elements of technology, robots doing specific functions that put to shame even our most modern technology. And if you want, I will link, I think I will link a video where you see the simulations of what's going on in the cell, and you literally see these robots doing stuff. Are these robots, these macromolecular machines, are they alive? No. So how do they know what to do? And what they do is so specific, and it only has a meaning when seen together with the other things, that the answer is clear. It is designed. And until next time, Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.